Hey, welcome to the Crafty Music Tips YouTube channel. My name is Crafty, and one of the things I love doing here on this YouTube channel is I love, as a full-time musician, just checking out a bunch of famous, successful artists earlier, finding videos where they haven't made it yet, and seeing what we, mere mortals, can actually take from it and use it for our benefit. So in this video, I'm going to go through some Blink-182 videos I found live at the Engine Room in Texas, 1995. It sounds like that was really early. If I'm not mistaken, I think Dude Ranch came out in 97. So this is 2 and a bit years before Damn It. All right, October 27th, 1995. What were you doing on October 27th, 1995?
Where were you?
I would have been in year 9. On October 27th, who knows what I would have been doing. It would have been start of term 4. And in Australia, that would have been starting to warm up, getting into summer. I remember that year I was really getting into Nirvana, and I was also starting to be aware of the Australian band Silverchair. There was definitely stuff going on musically. Pop punk hadn't really come into my awareness as a year 9 kid in Australia.
We also used to be known as Blink. We added the number on for sexual reasons. And we're from San Diego, California, all the way out here in Texas.
We're touring with 7 Seconds. We want to thank them a lot.
Yeah, we're having a lot of fun with the band 7 Seconds. We're out there till about for about another 2.5 weeks. Here it goes. Here's our first song. Texas! Yeah!
God, I love the way that they can banter like no other. There is such a uniqueness to the way that they banter. I'm sure that there's maybe others that are similar, but they don't give a crap about what anyone thinks. They're just up there having such a good time. Of course, they want to do a good job and everything like that, but they don't care if they come across too silly or if they offend anyone. Like, they're just there, just having a ball, basically. And how interesting is that? That at that point, they need to say, we're called Blink, but we added the number on, because that's how early this video is. This is really quite early in their career. You watching this would probably know that they weren't always called Blink-182, but I love hearing that. This is so early in their career. Well, this is a really long intro. I wonder if it's an instrumental that they would have been accustomed to starting with. We'll soon see. But one thing I just want to mention is, how much energy do they have?
Gratuitous amounts of energy.
Straight away, Mark's jumping up and down, pulling out all the moves. And I feel that that's ever so important. Having the energy there from the start. It makes a bunch of strangers, this is probably their first time that they've been to Texas, I would assume. So they're completely new to the audience there, and they're not anxious about actually getting into it. They don't need time to warm into it. They're just going for it, and that's so refreshing. All right, fantastic. So many things to comment on here. I mean, it's obvious these guys, they're on the road to somewhere. I think they're going to do all right.
I'm gonna make it after all.
Obviously, we'll have Travis Barker replace the original drummer there, but we've got many things already ticked. You know, they've got a really good look and sound and energy, and sounds like that there would have been a lot of work put into getting themselves up to this level before this moment. And so they at no point stop and slow down, not in the 90s at least anyway. They just keep going. There's a lot of hard work. Think of all of the rehearsals, all of the time that it would take in order to be able to develop their songs, all of the logistics in getting from San Diego to Texas, and somehow being able to be known by this band. Was it 7 Seconds, did they say, that have taken them on the road? In order to be able to be known by someone, to be asked to go on the road, like, there's time and effort in developing a relationship, or just time and effort in becoming known well enough to, even if it's just to a local punk community, that's a lot of time and effort.
Oh shit. It's getting warmed up.
Oh, this is fantastic. I'm getting such an energy boost just from listening to this. It's a lot of memories of really being into pop punk when I was younger. I probably don't listen to that much these days in comparison to as much as I used to, but it's a really nice trip down nostalgia lane for me because, yeah, I was really, really into punk rock. And I was really into pop punk too. Very energetic, very dirty sounding, you know, guitar driven music, but with a really good, decent, catchy melody. I just love that. It's ticking a lot of boxes for me. Now, one of the things that you will notice is that this song, as fantastic as it isn't a All the Small Things or a What's My Age Again or a type of song that will be very radio friendly to the masses. And that's something that they developed. Obviously, they were a pop punk band first and foremost, but then over the time, you know, in their career, they did evolve. They became more than just a one style sound. All right, that's interesting. So a couple of things there. We've got, you know, one of the most well-known bands in the world. You know, that name, Blink-182, it's a household name universally, right? And so that ending, I was pretty sloppy. It was very human and it had a lot of style to it, like, but if they were tighter, it would have been, and that's something that they developed over time. You know, they just got so tight as a band. And doing all of this touring, doing so many gigs, they would have just developed that attention to detail so much more by just going through the motions of doing it. And the other curious thing was that Mark just looked like he grabbed some milk to drink.
Thanks a lot. What's up, Scott? Okay, here's song number 2.
All right, at the risk of annoying you, you might be a Blink-182 fan thinking, can you just shut up? I just want to hear the music. But this is very important stuff that we learn here. And so something that Mark did is he said, "What's up, Scott?" That's so important as a band, that you're communicating with each other, that you don't just announce, okay, so this is our next song, and then you realize, oh, the drummer's fixing his cymbal or something like that, and it's not ready. He surveyed the situation. "What's up, Scott?" It's hiding the fact that he's actually just asking, are you ready to start the next song?
Y'all ready for this?
He's not hiding it that much, but he's doing it in such a cooler way than actually asking direct. So then once there was a green light, so to speak, he's like, okay, this is our next song. Boom, 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 in. And that's so important that, you know, when you're playing to a bunch of strangers, that you're not, after your first song, going, yeah, so we're going to talk for a little while about this, and like lose the momentum there. Boom, straight into the next song. Yeah, halftime. Yeah, drink that milk or oil, Mark.
We're actually kind of stoked to be here in Texas. Had some fucking good hamburgers out here. Steer burgers. In California. I don't even understand what that flyer's all about, guys. Those of you, I'm focused here. This is a game. Come on. This is a dancing party. Back in California, we dance. So you want to take off your shoes, to walk barefoot down the street, to be the things that you can be. Just wait for one more week. Go! So you want to take off your shoes, to walk barefoot down the street, to be the things that you can be. Just wait for one more week. So hold it on the pressure, because we're climbing into your...
All right, this is such an enjoyable thing for me, watching, you know, one of the biggest bands in the world that they got to eventually be on a pretty small little stage, probably playing at a pretty small little club. It's nice to know that they've just got that energy and that character about them already. And so I guess, what did they refine? You know, this is a song, yet again, it's a bit hard to hear, like the hooks being the catchy elements of a song, you know, for instance, like a chorus or whatever. But, I mean, like, so it's a live gig, and what did they do with that big, long jam bit in the middle? They used it to their advantage, doing some talking over the top, creating a rapport with a bunch of strangers that have never heard them before, talking about, you know, hey, you guys got some great hamburgers, and back in California, where we're from, you know, we dance, and this is a dance party, you know, like they're being very engaging. And it's ever so important, if you're trying to develop a rapport, it's not necessarily just the music itself that can do that. Sometimes it is, but these guys are putting in such an effort, and for me, I'm digging it. I'm going with them. Excellent. That sounded like... Oh, here we go. Yeah. M&M's? Oh, yeah, so how was that? Very fast transition into the new song. The song had ended, and they didn't stop to yak in between songs. Now, that's very unlike Blink-182. They love to stop in between songs, usually in order to talk, to say lots of stuff, usually very obnoxious, very silly things. And that's great. We love them for it. But also, how great is it that they're just pow, pow, pow. Here's the next song. Check this one out. Yeah, so this song definitely is Eminem's, and correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it was their first song to kind of get them noticed. I don't know if you'd call it a hit necessarily, but it was, for a lot of people, the first song that they would have heard of Blink-182. And so, yeah, they're doing a fantastic job here of smashing it out. Was interesting. Scott on drums looked like he was playing open-handed there for a little bit. If you're not too sure what that is, it's instead of crossing your hands, having, in his case, his right hand on the hi-hat, left hand on the snare. It looked like he had swapped it around. So he's, look, Mum, I swapped my hands around. And didn't sound like he missed a beat at all. See if you can see it. Look at that. How cool. It definitely looks like his left hand is on the hi-hat. And then swapped it. Interesting. Wow. From memory, that sounded like a shorter version. I wonder if they developed it into a slightly longer version by the time that they recorded it. I'm assuming that they haven't recorded it yet at this point. I guess that's what happens, hey? You get on the road and you start playing the same song over and over. It starts to evolve, as well as in the rehearsal room and whatnot as well. Looks like we got time for one more. Oh, a lot of dead air there.
Hey, you know what's going on. We were just Blink, and this techno band from Ireland was threatening to sue us if we didn't add or change our name. So we added a number, but they're fucking techno, dude. Okay, this is what I wish. This is what I would have wanted to happen. If they were a fucking, like a fucking glam rock band, that'd be fucking rad, dude. I mean, they should be wearing fucking tight leather. Be like, yo, man. But it didn't happen that way. They're techno. While he's tuning his guitar over there, suck dick. Who's yelling suck dick? I don't know, dude. You guys go to fucking, all these guys. I don't know how many times we hear these profanity at the shows. Come on, fuck. This next song
It's about Princess Leia.
shake, fuck, dick, cunt, suck, dick, fuck.
How many guys like Star Wars? Come on. It's about Princess Leia. It's called Princess Leia. Here it goes.
Got a girl.
that's so great. You can tell here that they're still becoming the polished machine that they became. They're not quite there yet. But one of the things that they definitely do have, you can tell, is they've got such a camaraderie where they're there for each other.
You guys are my best friends.
Mark's inquiring with Scott, the drummer. What's up, Scott? You know, as in, are you ready for the next one? They really have each other's interests at heart because they're a team.
Well, you know, support the team.
And they're doing such a good job of it. And right there, it was Mark's turn to do some tuning. And then, so instead of making it awkward and really talking a lot about, okay, he's still tuning. I'm
having a good time. Not.
You know, he was able to use the time to tell a story about their name change, and it felt pretty natural. But I would assume that it would have been more natural, and we would be completely oblivious as an audience in whatever shape or form, either there in person or now watching it on YouTube. We'd be oblivious to the fact that it was happening because, you know, you do it that many times, you just become more and more natural to it. And learning that if there is some sort of a technical hitch or some sort of a logistical nature that needs to be adhered to on the stage, that you try your very best when you're talking to completely not acknowledge it. You get the focus away from that and then you make it into something else. Now, speaking of potentially being in the room, man, I'm feeling very envious of the crew there that's actually in the room, being able to watch Blink potentially for the first time. For me, it was quite a few years later that I was able to actually see them live. And yeah, it was, you know, at a big arena show that I saw them in early 2000. So yeah, actually, I'd be interested to know, when was the first time that you saw Blink-182 live in concert? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, if you learned anything, if you got anything out of it, let me know in the comments as well. So I'm just going to leave it there. I'm going to go check out a bunch of other early Blink-182 videos, but this video here is done now. If you want to go check out a bunch of other ones, the beautiful thing about YouTube is there's so much stuff out there. A great procrastinating tool. Speaking of procrastination, if you're feeling like that, I'm just really not getting the improvement that I want as a musician or as a singer or as someone with anything, well, might I offer you a free gift? It's called 5 Steps to Fast Improvement. Basically, we've all felt that feeling of we're just chasing our tail, not getting the results that we want. And so what I've done is I've made it a really quick, easy read, really simple, just to be able to really clear up what are the 5 steps that you should be taking in order to be able to get the improvement that you want. So if it feels like that's something helpful for you, I'll leave a link below so that you can download it. I hope it's helpful for you. So that's it for this Crafty Music Tips reaction video. There's a bunch of other Crafty Music Tips, different related videos here that you can check out, or a bunch of other reaction videos to other artists that became successful where I react to videos before they were successful. And you can learn a lot. So I hope that it's helpful for you. So that's it from me. Hope you enjoyed this video. Just remember that you don't have to do everything right now. Just do the next thing. I'll see you soon. Cheers.